What's cracking? What's cracking, you guys? I'm here to make a quick little video. Somebody recently asked me, does God really speak to you? And if so, how? Well, I'm going to give you guys two examples of how God speaks to you. And I'm sure there's other ways and other people has had other experiences. You know, God is the all incredible, the all knowing, the creator of this whole universe. So he can speak to every person individually however he wants. I'm going to share about the experiences of how he's spoken to me and about an experiences that I've heard other people tell through their testimony. Okay, so I would say about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, I was at my old house, at my father's house, and I was just sitting on the floor, just legs crossed, just praising Jesus. I was thinking about how Jesus was crucified and he willingly just accepted it. He willingly, took it all the way to the death. The beatings, the mockery, the spitting on him, the slaps. I mean, anything you can think of, he took it. Meanwhile, telling God to forgive the people who were crucifying him. I mean, talk about some love. You know what? Talk about some courage. So at that moment, I had realized, you know what? Jesus, you deserve all the glory. I mean, you are tough. You are courageous. And I just started naming name after names. You are love. You are incredible. And then I said this, Lord, I don't think a name exists to truly describe who you are. And you know what I heard? And I heard it not in an audible voice, but I heard it in my conscience, speaking to my soul. I heard this word, in your midst. And I was like, in your midst. And it came right after when I said, I don't think a word exists to describe who you truly are. And I heard the word in your midst. And I was like, okay, my mind's over here making stuff up. That's cool. Whatever. I finished praying, went to go lay down, so I'm just there under the blankets in bed. And I was thinking, was that God speaking to me, or is that just my mind playing tricks on me? And I was like, well, Google it. Find out, see if it's a real word. And I was like, nah, because you're just going to be disappointed. The pepper in me, the carnal mind, didn't want me to seek the truth. So I tried to put a halt. That way I wouldn't go and Google it. Well, after 10 minutes of just debating, I was like, you know what? Let's see if it's true. Let's see if God gave me that word. So I Googled inurement. And what I saw was verification that God speaks to you. God, as clear as day, speaks to you. Inurement means to give up something for a greater cause. Jesus gave up his life for the salvation of humanity. For me, for you, and for everybody out there struggling with sin. To give up something for a greater cause. I was like, wow, come on, Jesus. And at that moment, I knew God speaks. He talks back. You just have to seek him, spend some time with him and seek him, and he will talk back. He will talk back to your conscience, and you will hear him as clear as day. Okay, so I think about a year to a year and a half later, I had an encounter, which I'm gonna do this in a whole different video, about my experience of when I met God. But I actually met God while I was being a backsliding Christian, a lukewarm Christian. Well, in that experience, God spoke to me, and I heard him. I heard him 100%. It wasn't one of those moments like, is this really God, or is this just a dream, a nightmare? No, I knew where I was at. I knew I had left my body. But when God spoke to me, he wasn't using words, nor was I using words to really communicate with him. I was just there, and I could just hear him speaking to my conscience, and he was just right there, right in front of me. And I remember he had told me, unless you truly change, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. And then that's when he left. And like I said, that's a whole totally different testimony. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because I'm just letting you know how Jesus speaks to you. The reason why, and this is just my opinion, the reason why I think you don't hear audible voices and he speaks to your conscience, I think because when God speaks, things happen. So if God's getting on to you and like giving you a lecture and trying to give you some guidance, discernment, and truth, and let's just say he says something, oh, it's going to happen. So I think if somebody's giving you like a lecture, you don't want it to just instantly just come into play, because God, I mean, you got to understand, God created the whole universe, the whole world, the stars, the planets, the moon, the sun. He created it with his mouth. So personally, I think that's why God speaks to your conscience. I think that's why he doesn't speak in an audible voice, because it'd be way too powerful. And I'm sure some have had experiences where they've heard it. You know, I can't really speak on that, but this is just my opinion, and this is what this whole video is about. So yes, God does speak to you. For anybody out there wondering how, why, when, where, what, just seek him, and trust me, he'll talk back for sure. All right, you guys have a great rest of, what are we today? A Thursday. Happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. Peace out.